Saturday. You've got a date with two gals who are just too hot to handle.
This is very explosive news.
A father who's just too much to take.
Oh, that's hitting below the belt.
And a mother who's got a lot to give.
And word of this gets out, our home could become a tourist attraction.
What are you waiting for?
It was wonderful.
Spend 30 minutes with San Francisco's funniest first family with Ted Knight and Nancy Dussault. The all-new Too Close for Comfort. Saturday night at 7:30 on TV5.
Light up your eyes, unwrap your smiles. Let your arms undo the miles. Bring your heart back home and find that special face. Decorate your time with laughter. Let the hours live ever after.
In the past 40 years, Chevrolet has brought more people home for the holidays than anyone. Have a happy new year, America.
Thursday, Henry meets the real Santa Claus, but thinks it's a burglar.
I think you're nuts.
I'm not nuts.
Too close for comfort. Then Molly plays detective and catches Sam with a lady.
You're a beautiful, exciting, desirable woman.
It takes two.
Thursday here on ABC.
Sitcom, all ye faithful, a Christmas podcast special. And for the fifth time I discussed 25 Christmas sitcom episodes. Please come and listen as we count down to Christmas. You should see Mr. Wilson, Tom Hanks and Danny Thomas. Sherman Helmsley will return and we head back to Springfield. We're definitely spending Christmas in Springfield.
Christmas!
Happy Sunday, everybody, and welcome back to Sitcom, all ye faithful, where today I am traveling all the way back to the year 1982, where I am talking about a show that I kind of remember. I remember watching, I remember laughing, I remember enjoying it, I remember it being somewhat part of my childhood, but I think I remember it more from syndication than first run, as I am talking about the Ted Knight starring television show Too Close for Comfort. Here's what I remember from the show. Ted Knight, Jim J. Bullock. That's it. I remember Ted Knight being funny. I remember Jim J. Bullock being funny. I think as a kid, I thought Jim J. Bullock was the funny one and Ted Knight was the straight man. And maybe that's what happens. But in this episode, there's not a lot of Jim J. Bullock. Now, for me, Jim J. Bullock, Double J. Bullock, I knew him from this, but it was, and it's gonna be like, really? Yes. When he was on Hollywood Squares, he was like a regular guest on the updated version of Hollywood Squares that was kind of in the 80s. It was hosted by John Davidson, and I remember constantly laughing at him, like whenever he was called and you're going to say, what? Well, it was on at a certain time of day where it was around dinner time, and my family, we had the TV in the kitchen. My parents still have a TV in their kitchen, and not even that, but they had cable put in for the TV in the kitchen, which at the time feels a little crazy, but that was how much our family loved television, I guess, because I remember having cable and being able to watch this, and I think it was on USA, so it might have been like even second run then, because it was on every day around dinner time, and it might have been a syndicated game show, so I don't know, but I remember loving him and watching him in that. And Ted Knight, I remember him being in this. I remember Caddyshack, and of course the Mary Tyler Moore Show. Probably Mary Tyler Moore Show the least amount for me at my age, which is sacrilegious because that's the classic. That's the first thing most people think of him from. To me, it's probably a tie I probably knew him first from this, but saw him more from his time in Caddyshack and being like the curmudgeon old guy you don't like. You'll get nothing and like it. I've only seen a little bit of Mary Tyler Moore, but I remember he was very funny in that. And on this, I liked it. I liked him. He was like he's one of these guys that he looks like he could be angry, and yet every time you look at him, you can't help but want to laugh. And I think that's part of his charm, that he almost looks like he could be this angry curmudgeon guy, and it's in a funny way. Like it never seems like it's in a like a actual scary way. And that, like, he yells at Monroe. Like I think I accidentally, or like it's one of those Mandela effects where I remember something that isn't real. Did he used to say Monroe, or is that me knowing his name was Monroe and kind of taking that, or hearing someone talk about the show and mention that? I don't remember if he ever said it like that, but here's the premise of the show. So it is this guy who lives in San Francisco, and his daughters live in an apartment below him. It says Henry and Muriel Rush are owners of a 2-unit house in San Francisco. Henry is a conservative cartoonist who authors a comic strip called Cosmic Cow. And Muriel is a freelance photographer. They have 2 adult daughters. So I guess the daughters hang out with Monroe. Like, I don't know exactly when Monroe... additional characters include Sarah's friend, Monroe Ficus, and Henry's boss, Arthur Wainwright. The character of Monroe was originally intended to be used for only a single episode, but producers added the character to the series. Well, good, because you needed him. Because no one else in the cast stands out as, like, particularly funny. Everyone's pleasant. Everyone's nice. The daughters are pretty. And but there's also a baby. So in this, what I watched today was the 3rd season, episode 11, titled show, Mr. Christmas. And here's the cool thing. For the first time in 5 days, I did not have to go and find a crappy version on YouTube. I did not have to go and find some like ripped version on archive.org. This is readily available in actual streaming places. You can watch this on Peacock if you're a subscriber to Peacock. You can watch this for free on Pluto TV. You can watch this for free on Tubi. I have links to all of them in the show notes. I have links to all of them if you're on the website. You can go right to this and watch this right now. The theme song at the beginning, which of course I played here, I kind of remember it. Like that's somewhat familiar, but it's instrumental, so there's no singing along. There's no Bill Medley, which that might have been one of my least liked shows. It really wasn't as great, or underwhelming shows this year. Just the 10 of us. Like the memory did not live up to the reality did not live up to the memory, but that theme song has stuck with me, and I've been singing it all day. This, I'm not going to be singing it all because it is an instrumental. It's just an instrumental track, which kind of is memorable, but not like, oh, this is from this. It's like, I think I know this. So I guess the whole idea, Too Close for Comfort, is they all live together under one roof. Ooh, that'd be crazy. So the episode premise is they're going away to a ski trip. The whole family's going away to a ski trip, but little Andrew has a bit of a temperature because they have a baby. Now, Ted Knight looks, I'm going to say he looks to be about 60 years old in this. He was born in 1923, the same year as my grandparents. So he would be 102 right now. And this was in 1982. So he's almost 60 years old here. And he has a baby. It's exactly the opposite of Just the 10 of Us, where they're too close in age. These are really far apart in age. And I wonder if that's the old sitcom adage of we need to add someone to the show. We need to add a baby to the show. Was it a shocker? Was it like, oh my God, we're too old to have babies? Because the same thing with the mother, the wife, like when they had this baby, I'm like, oh, this has to be one of the girls' babies, right? This can't be someone else. Like this can't be their baby. She was born in 36. So she is, wait a minute. If he was born in 23, he's not almost 60 in 82. No, right. He'll be almost 60, right? She was born in 36, so she's at least in her 40s still. Wait a minute, let me do the 46, 56, 66, 76, 40. Okay, she'd be 50 and 86. So her having a baby in her 40s, That's very, that's still, I feel like that happens more now than then, because I feel like, again, this woman in her 40s doesn't look like other women that I see in their 40s today. Like people age differently now. I don't know if it's just because better hygiene, better health and everything. People looked older then. So you could have told me, oh, Ted Knight was actually 45 then. I would have believed you. But again, they seemed a little old to be having this baby, but they did. And the baby was having a bit of a fever, and Grandma was there. And the cool thing about Grandma is it's friggin' Audrey Meadows. So that was the fun stuff, is seeing some of these faces that I'm like, hey, I know who that is. Audrey Meadows, of course, like legendary actress from The Honeymooners. She's been featured on the first season of Sitcom All You Faithful. Also in this episode, a neighbor comes by, Mildred Rafkin, played by Selma Diamond. Selma Diamond, I don't know if she was in the episode I featured, but she is best known as the first bailiff from Night Court. Remember the little old lady from Night Court? That's her. So she comes over and she visits for a little bit. Like, people are coming and going. The daughters come in. One of the daughters can't wait to go skiing, but her outfit's too tight. And Ted's like, it's very nice. It looks really nice. Now go and burn it, because it doesn't leave anything to the imagination. I'm like, Ted, what are you talking about here? Oh, Henry, I should say, Henry Rush. So they find out that the baby has a bit of a fever, so they cancel their trip, and they're all going to hang out back at home and have a Christmas at home. Monroe is there, and he tells them, I do what I do every year. I have Christmas alone at the Pancake House, or whatever it's called. I think it was called the Pancake House. They're like, oh, you're not going to go visit your family? And they go, no, they're coming to San Francisco, but they didn't tell me where they're staying. Oh, I thought he was going to say, why don't you come with us? Instead, I forget what he says, but he doesn't say come and spend time with us on Christmas until they find out that they're not going because the kid is sick. So he's like, great, we can all get together at the Pancake House. But instead, they make this dinner. Audrey Meadows' grandmama, I know that's not her name, but grandmother, who I guess was on the show in multiple episodes. This wasn't like a one-time thing, even though the credits had special appearance by Audrey Meadows. She must have got that in her contract. They go shopping, and she comes back. She can only get a little turkey and a little chicken because this is all last minute stuff. Ted and Monroe go tree shopping. They get this little crappy tree because that's the only thing left. So he sends Monroe. I like saying Monroe. He sends Monroe upstairs into the attic to get the ornaments. He goes, you won't miss them. He goes, like, where are they? They're right in front of me. He's like, right in front of you? I don't see them. And then you hear a crunch. He goes, oh, I found them. So he stepped on one. Kind of funny. So while that happens, one of the daughters, Jackie, says, I brought a friend. Is it someone from work? He goes, well, he stands outside my house. He stood outside my store all day, trying to help the needy. And it turns out it's Santa Claus. It's a guy dressed as Santa Claus. So they're like, oh, that's great. And like, what's your name? Mr. Christmas? And like, oh, what a nice name. What's your first name? Nick? Oh, wow. What a wonderful coincidence for your line of work. So Ted goes, or Henry and Monroe, they get the ornaments. They go down in the other room and they look and they freak out. And he comes back. He goes, there's a black man dressed as Santa in the next room. And they're like, that's just Jackie's friend. Oh, okay. So it's like, okay, Henry may be conservative, but maybe he's not out and out racist. Maybe, because he goes and he meets Mr. Christmas, and Mr. Christmas talks to him. He's very delightful and very nice and very cheery. And he starts saying that he has a shop. It's called Santa's Toy Shop. It's really, really up north. Like, they keep saying, where up? Like by Maine? Oh no, more north. By Alaska? Oh, you're getting warmer. It's in the North Pole. And he basically says he's the actual Santa Claus. So Ted's like, oh, Monroe, I forgot an ornament in the other room. He's like, no, you didn't. He goes, get in here. And he pulls him in there. The old classic, I need to talk to you in the other room. He goes, this guy's crazy. He thinks he's Santa. They're like, oh, don't worry about it. There's nothing wrong with that. Then they talk about this kid being sick, and Mr. Christmas like, I could help. I'm good with kids. Like, oh no, there's nothing you can do. Thank you, Mr. Christmas. Then that's when Mildred Rafkin comes over, and she's curmudgeon-y neighbor, and she gets Henry alone and starts saying how her brother met some people at a party dressed up as the Easter Bunny, and they all robbed him. So I think he's casing the joint. So then that automatically puts in Ted's head, or Henry's head, I'm sorry, oh my goodness, you're probably right. There's no way he's Santa, so he's obviously trying to rob us. There's the part where I thought, uh-oh, is he profiling here? Is there some little racial profiling? He immediately calls the cops, and then he talks to Mr. Christmas a little more, and Mr. Christmas sees the grandmother, Audrey Meadows, with the baby, and they're like, "Oh, the temperature's gone up," and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that," and he touches the baby's head. He puts his hand on the baby's head, and he goes, I know he's not doing so well right now, but he'll feel better and he'll have a good Christmas. And he gives this look up almost like to heaven, and just like a moment freezes for a second. He just like glances. Then the baby goes in the other room, or the grandmother takes the baby in the other room. The mom and dad are like, he looks a little better. And they go, let's check his temperature. Oh my God, his temperature broke. This is great. Like, he's doing good. They never out and out said that Mr. Christmas magically healed the kid, but that's pretty much what happened. Next thing you know, the cops show up. They're like, we arrested the guy. Like, what are you talking about? We arrested him outside. What guy? A Caucasian guy, about 5'8", 5'9", real goofy. And they go, oh, that's Monroe. What do you want us to do with him? Drop him off at the pancake shop. So he didn't say don't arrest him. Instead, they come in and they try to arrest Mr. Christmas. And the daughter stand up for him. The wife stands up for him, and all of a sudden, Mr. Christmas says this whole thing about, it's okay, you don't believe me. People don't believe in Santa like they used to. And, he gives a nice little speech, and then Henry feels bad. He's like, you know what, officer, I take it back, my complaint. I apologize. And he gives them the gift that Mildred brought over. He's like, sorry. And they, that's when they said, what do you want us to do with the other guy? He goes, I'll just drop him off somewhere at the pancake house. Or I think that's what they said. But then they're like, who's the other guy? And he tells the daughters, Monroe. They're like, Daddy. And they all run out to go get Monroe, but we don't see him. Jim J. Bullock is in this for like 30 seconds. That's it. He has a couple moments. They're funny. And that's it. And then Mr. Christmas leaves and he's like, have a Merry Christmas. And he taps his nose like, he's the real Santa. And that's pretty much the whole episode right there. I feel like I rushed through it, but that's because I've been very busy working on other podcasts and getting ready to watch the Patriots tonight. So, but I did my duty. I watched this show. I liked it. I enjoyed it. It was fun to do. It felt cheap. And I mean that you watch some shows and they feel warm. Like, I think it's the camera and the quality of it looked like it was shot on this quality of video, like not on film. And it felt low budget as far as the look of it, where you could watch a show like Cheers and you feel like you're just in this warm environment. It's really just down to the cinematography. Nothing else about the show felt cheap, like the setting or the actors or anything like that, or the dialogue or anything. That felt good. The video portion of it felt a little, and maybe it's just because I'm watching a 40-something-year-old show that didn't transfer over well, and maybe it just was shot on like the video at the time. I don't know. But I do know that, as much as this show, I'd say, was syndicated, I thought it was syndicated. It was an actual show that aired on ABC. Well, there you go. There it is. I wasn't crazy. Okay, I'm looking it up right now. It says it was on ABC from 1980 to 1983. Then from 84 to 87, it was in syndication. So I'm not crazy. Maybe I did see it in the middle of the week or the middle of like a Saturday, because I feel like Saturday, hear that accent? I feel like that's when syndicated shows would be on a lot in our area. Like, you'd be on a station that doesn't get like, not a major network, and it would be like on a Saturday. I feel like that's where you'd see Mama's Family, or later on you see Xena and Hercules, before you knew Hercules was a kook. Like, that's what I think of as first run syndication, which that looks like that's what it was. Wow, that's interesting. And then for the final season of the sixth season, they actually changed the name. They retooled it and changed it to the Ted Knight Show, not to be confused with a 1978 show called The Ted Knight Show, which was a sitcom starring Ted Knight, which centers on the owner of an escort service in New York City. I feel like I have to check that show out too. Oh, it only ran for a month. Okay, well, maybe I don't need to check it out. But I guess it says, okay, Henry retires from drawing Cosmic Cow, along with Muriel and Andrew, moves to Marin County, where he buys a share of a local newspaper and becomes the editor. Monroe joins Rush and takes a job with Henry's paper as a reporter. What? So I don't know what Monroe did now, but they just bought a newspaper and made Monroe a reporter, and that's how television works. The whole place goes. They all move together, and it probably made sense. I don't know. the characters of Jackie, Sarah, and Muriel's mother were not included in the retooled show. So the daughters didn't go, and Audrey Meadows didn't go. Interesting. It only ran from 1980 to 1987. Oh, interesting, because so the revamped show was scheduled to resume production when Ted Knight, who had begun battling colon cancer in 1985 and died in 1986. Wow. The 10 remaining first-run episodes were broadcast from September 86 to February 87. So the show aired after he died. I kind of remember that. Those episodes were then added to Too Close for Comfort syndication, and they never called it the Ted Knight Show in the like reruns or syndication. Wow. Interesting. So the episode that I watched, it's funny because on IMDb it calls it episode 11. On Peacock, it calls it episode 11. On I think it's one of the Plutos or some, like one of the stations has it out of order. And that's weird. I thought maybe I was wrong, but I've seen it in multiple places as episode 11 from season 3. So that's what I'm going with. And it aired on December 16th, 1982. And you're going to say to yourself, well, haven't I heard that date before? And I'm going to tell you, yes, you have. Because December 16th, 1982 is the second show this year that I've done from that day. So I've already talked about NBC having Fame, Cheers, Taxi, and Hill Street Blues. I've already talked about CBS having Magna PI, Simon & Simon, and an all-new Knots Landing. And I've already talked about ABC having this episode at 9 p.m., It Takes Two at 9:30, and you go back to 8 o'clock, and there was the Christmas episode of Joni Loves Chachi. So December 16th, 1982 holds a special place in the world of Sitcom All You Faithful, because there are now 3 episodes of Sitcom All You Faithful that come from this very night. Joni Loves Chachi, Too Close for Comfort, and Taxi. I mean, who knows if there's anything else? The only one left is Cheers. Now, I've done a Cheers episode, but maybe Cheers is one of those shows I could revisit. But that one's called The Spy Who Came In for a Cold One. So I don't know if that's even a Christmas episode. This might be it. But what an exciting night. If you ask me which of all 3, which is the best, I'd probably say the Taxi episode, followed by this, and then Joni Loves Chachi, even though that is nostalgic. And again, when I look at how Joni Loves Chachi looks compared to this, like, I'm just talking visually with the film and video. This one just felt differently, but I really did like this episode. It went by quick. The commercial breaks that I had didn't quite line up with the commercial breaks on the show, but that's okay. It was like 22 minutes, flew by, and yeah, I think that's it. This is a quickie, but I think we nailed it. And I will be back tomorrow to do this all over again. But if things go as planned, I will not be alone tomorrow. But I will be back tomorrow to do this all over again. I'm on vacation now. I'm on vacation from my actual job, but I'm crazy busy with podcasting. I'm crazy busy with what I like to call nonsense. It's busy. It's time consuming. It's nonsense, and I love it. And this is part of it. And I'm glad you've been here. I'm glad you're here today. I hope you've been here all 21 days, and I hope you will be here for the final 4 days as we lead right up to Christmas. And I'll be back, as I said, I'll be back again tomorrow to do this all over again. But until then, thank you for listening. You can find me on all the socials at Geek Mentality, except TikTok, which is Geek Mentality Mike. You can find me on Facebook, Fans Not Experts, on YouTube at Fans Not Experts, and of course, fansnotexperts.com. That's it. I'm done. I will see you tomorrow, my friends. But until then, thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. And here is my theme song.
This is my podcast. I made it. Geek Mentality's what I named it. And I think you should listen and subscribe. 'Cause I'm kinda funny and awesome. I think that I'm worth your time, and I'm kinda handsome. My mom says, please listen and please subscribe. At least listen to this episode.
Fans Not Experts.